Robbie, my camera is on. What would you like the world to know about you?
That I'm a really nice kid with special needs, and it's really difficult for me. I've been called fat. I've been called Peter Griffin by a lot of people. I've been called stupid and an a-hole by a lot of people.
What would you like to communicate to people who say things like that?
I just want to be a friend.
Tell me all about your mom.
She's beautiful. I'm attached to her. I really love her.
Aw, thank you, buddy.
If you had to describe Robbie to somebody meeting him for the first time, what would you say?
I would say that Robbie is a very lovable boy, or young man now. He's got the biggest heart, and he's very funny, and he seeks socialization with people, which isn't always a trait of autistic people. However, sometimes he can get triggered very quickly, so just to be a little bit wary in noticing the trigger signs.
Robbie, is it okay if I ask your mom some questions about your diagnoses?
Go ahead.
What are all of Robbie's diagnoses?
So he has moderate autism. He was diagnosed at a very young age with that. Since then, we've had him diagnosed with intellectual developmental disorder, IDD, clinical anxiety, and IED, which is intermittent explosive disorder.
What is intermittent explosive disorder?
He'll go from being calm to explosive behavior within seconds. Anything can trigger it, or it can happen for no reason.
When you have these explosive anger periods, what type of behavior do you do?
Hitting, kicking, spitting, a lot, breaking things. That's about it.
Yep, it's good. It's all good.
Does he feel bad about it after?
He does. When he was little, when he would snap out of it, he would cry hysterically and apologize. You could see it just broke his heart that he behaved that way. Actually, when he's in his escalations, there's many times where he'll try to snap himself out of it by punching himself in the head first or banging his head on something, which then we have to intervene. He still occasionally bites himself. He scratches a lot. He'll scratch himself, or he'll just go like this on his chest and have like blood dots. But really the first thing now is he'll just punch himself in the head to try and make his brain regulate so he can try to snap out of it. But it doesn't work, obviously. It's just harming himself more.
I heard that you can sometimes feel angry. Tell me about that.
I become violent, throw things, break things. It's horrible. I can't control myself sometimes.
What type of thoughts and feelings are you experiencing when that happens?
I want to die. Sorry. I mean that. I want to live. I'm feel depressed. And I just want to, I'm not myself.
When he is having this explosive anger, is there any possibility of him controlling it?
No. Nope. That's why we have to try and catch him at the very beginning. So when the cursing starts and we see the body language, he's going to punch a wall or punch the couch or punch the furniture, that's where we try to redirect really quickly. But it's far and few between these days. It seems like he really needs to just let it out and get it out of his system.
Have you learned to do drywall?
Me, no, but my husband, yes. I mean, over there, right where your cord is plugged in, there was a huge hole there that he has repaired himself. This window was smashed just recently. He bought a new one and put it in, so now he can install windows. He's really become quite the handyman.
Is it okay if I ask your sister about the anger you sometimes feel?
Sure.
What does it look like from your perspective?
Robbie has something called Intermittent Explosive Disorder, so it'll be, sometimes out of nowhere. It can be very small triggers, things that nobody could possibly ever understand, even myself, especially someone who has no idea anything about this disorder. So it could be, he could be playing and then just get upset over a game, or he could get upset over, there's a lot of different things, and again, it's hard for us to grasp sometimes, especially from an outside perspective. Sometimes when he's really upset, he will just he just needs a buddy. Like, that's his number one solution to 9 out of 10 of his problems is he just needs a buddy. He's very lonely.
Why does having a buddy help?
Cause I'm like typically no friend.
I'm really excited I get to be here with you today.
Right. What kind of car do you have?
I have a Honda Civic.
What year?
2020.
My dad had the Highlander from 20. Sorry, I don't know the year of the Highlander, but it's a good. My favorite car is the Tesla
Why do you like Teslas?
because of the Easter egg. More cowbell Easter egg in it.
There's a cowbell Easter egg?
No, from the SNL, more cowbell.
Yeah, the classic skit from SNL.
Yeah, it's a feature in the car.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and also a Rainbow Road feature as well.
What is the Rainbow Road feature?
It's like Mario Kart.
Okay.
Like, I don't know.
Let's talk about video games for a little bit.
Sure.
What's your favorite video game?
I have a lot, but I'm gonna say Mario Kart World.
Why do you like Minecraft World?
No, Mario Kart
Mario Kart. Why do you like Mario Kart?
World.
Why do you like Mario Kart World?
Because it's awesome. I think it's an awesome game to play.
When you're playing Mario Kart World, who's your favorite character?
Okay. My favorite character has to be Bowser.
You like to play as the villain,
Yes.
but you're such a nice guy.
I know, I like Bowser because I like him. He's like awesome. I like his stats.
Does his anger ever turn physically aggressive to his loved ones?
Yes.
What is that like?
Right now, to be honest with you, we went through a very volatile period with that. And at the time, my husband was commuting to DC every day, so he wasn't here. And I was handling it myself. And this was back around when he was 11. And we started seeing like puberty changes and all of these explosive new behaviors. So it was pretty bad. I'm not going to get into a lot of details, but it was physical. A lot of this stuff in the house was broken. I used to have a lot of nice things and not so much anymore. But the police were actually called twice. And the second time that they were called, my husband and I made a decision on the fly that day that he had to quit his job. So he did. So now we both work from home and we just struggle trying to manage him all day.
When the police were called, did you guys call or someone else?
No, I did. Yeah, it was a fearing for my life situation.
What is that like, having to call the police on your own son?
It was traumatizing. The experience itself, I believe, has left me with PTSD. The behavior has left me with PTSD. But I'm a pretty easygoing person, so like I don't hold on to that. But I do realize when he starts to escalate again, my anxiety goes up, and it's because of the past.
If somebody out there is watching your story and hearing you for the first time, what do you want them to know about the anger you sometimes experience?
Please understand that I can't control it.
What is it like to have uncontrollable anger?
Horrible. I feel like I'm like one of the characters off my tree friends, Flippy, because he has PTSD disorder.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you said. Could you repeat it a bit slower?
Sure. I feel like a character from Happy Tree Friends, Flippy, he has PTSD, he has anger issues too. I feel like him on steroids, so.
Do you relate a lot to cartoons and
Yes.
media that you watch?
Iron Giant.
Do you feel like Iron Giant?
I feel like the Hulk. A lot. I felt Hulk. Bruce Banner.
So sometimes when you're angry, it feels like you're hulking out?
Yes.
Once that switch is flipped, can you control it at all?
No, I can't. No, I can't. No. No, I can't.
Tell me about his genetic condition.
About 7 or 8 years ago, we had a microarray DNA test done and found out that he has, the cause of his autism is a little unique. He has a duplicate marker on chromosome 14 in the section 11.2. And at the time, there was only one other person known medically in the United States that had it. That was also a male, what we were told, and the male was about, I think, a year or two younger than Robbie. However, they both had very similar behaviors. That particular individual also had very explosive behaviors. So as far as it shows now, it seems to be connected to that type of autism.
Tell me all about your sister.
She's my second mom.
Yeah. Am I your favorite?
Yes,
Why is she your second mom?
because she like takes care of me. She takes me to places. We used to drive together. And takes me to McDonald's sometimes.
I noticed during our conversation that you looked the other way. And that's perfectly fine. You can keep doing that. But I wanted to ask, can eye contact sometimes be difficult for you?
Yes,
Why is it difficult?
I'm shy a lot.
Why are you shy?
Because I don't know, like, I'm just nervous.
Do you feel nervous often?
Yes,
What's something a person can do to make you feel more comfortable?
like give me a hug.
Do you want a hug?
Yeah, man.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Do you feel better?
Yeah, I felt good. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I noticed that your hands were shaking a little bit.
That's how like nervousness, and because you're new to me, I know I met you actually on YouTube, and I met you before, Chris.
You did meet me on YouTube, but not in real life.
Yes.
But I wanted to say, it was almost like you were trying to stop them from shaking.
Yes.
Do you feel like you need to mask that and hide your hand flapping?
Yes.
Why do you not want other people to see that?
Because I feel like I might be called, like, might be bullied online.
Alora, you just saw me and Robbie were having a conversation before I turned the camera on. And Robbie, I loved how animated you were. You were very excited. But as soon as I turned the camera on, you calmed yourself down and then you stopped flapping. And you mentioned to me before, that's because you don't want other people to see you as weird?
Yes.
Tell me about Robbie's personality on a typical day.
So on a typical day, I would say Robbie is very outgoing. He's typically very outgoing and he's very sociable. And he's usually very authentically himself every day.
I know you love SpongeBob. So if you had to pick one character from SpongeBob, which one would you say you relate to the most?
Who's angry all the time? Plankton.
Always trying to steal the Krusty Krab recipe?
I think he's a misunderstood guy. His life is one because Old Man Jenkins joined it.
You don't think it's Plankton's fault that he...
It's Old Man Jenkins' fault.
What does Old Man Jenkins do?
He separated Mr. Krabs and Plankton's relationship, and like that, and they became optimists.
So you're telling me Mr. Krab and Plankton used to be close and friends?
Yes, episode called Friend or Foe.
There's an episode called Friend or Foe?
Yes,
Do you know the name of every SpongeBob episode?
yes.
What is it like to see somebody you love so deeply regularly experience explosive anger?
It's hard because growing up with Robbie, I remember the day he came home from the hospital. I was 8 when he was born. So I remember the day he came home from the hospital. I remember his first steps. So like he said, it's kind of like I'm a second mom to him at times. And to see him struggle with his emotions and like regulating his anger, it's very difficult because I know, that little kid and that sweet, my sweet Robbie, it's hard to see him, struggle with his anger and his emotions.
How often does he have his anger outburst, and how long do they typically last?
They're daily and they're multiple times throughout the day. So it's exhausting. And, they could be anywhere on a good day, maybe 2. On a bad day, it could be 6, 7. And they can last anywhere from like 20 minutes if it's not that big. Like if we were able to redirect a little bit in the beginning of it and he still had to get some of it out, but he didn't go the full blast. But they've gone upwards of 2 hours, and that's physical attacking for 2 hours, physical prevention of trying to deflect property damage, infliction on people, family members in the home. It's exhausting. Have I said it's exhausting? I feel like I need a vitamin B shot or something to just kind of get my energy back at my age to be dealing with this on a daily basis.
Do you ever have time to refocus and recalibrate?
No. No, we're at a point where we don't really have much. Our life, my husband's and my life, is really just Robbie and our other kids. But I feel bad over the years because sometimes when they've needed us, we were busy dealing with an escalation. And most of them understand that most of the time. There's times where, they get a little jealous or whatever and they need us and we just can't be there. But we are there every time we can.
When you have friends over, do you tell them about your brother beforehand?
Yes, and I will say it's very difficult to have friends over sometimes because, like I said, I have a big fear of him being judged or, not people not understanding or putting him in an uncomfortable place. I typically go with my friends somewhere else, but people that I do have over, they know Robbie very well. Robbie becomes their instant best friend. You meet Robbie and he's your best friends instantly. Robbie loves hugs. He'll give them a hug. He'll talk to them about everything from Halloween to 1920s movies, classic toys. My boyfriend, yeah, he talks about all those things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robbie, have you experienced anger since I've been here, or do you feel okay right now?
I feel okay, actually.
Why do you feel okay?
Because I feel mellow.
What is it like after one of Robbie's anger outbursts? How quickly can you go back to being the loving mother that you are to him?
It does take a little bit of processing for me. When he was younger and the behaviors weren't as extreme, I could keep the mindset that this is his autism. It's not a reflection on me. It's not what he thinks about me. But back then, he wasn't calling me every name he could think of. Now, I kind of roll that off because it's been years now, a good number of 4, 5 years that, I'm being called every name you could think of from your son. It was tough to process. I cried a lot. It was very hurtful, but now I understand. I mean, I understood then too. So I try to just hold on to that I know it's his autism. But as an adult, having an adult child treat me like that, I just have to, I understand it's his autism, but I have to process it. So after we work through it and I give him the hug he needs or whatever, I'm like, all right, I need my time now to listen to my meditative music to kind of calm me down and work through it. Sometimes I'm in my office crying. Sometimes I have to walk outside and just compose myself. And sometimes when it's really bad, I just tell him, you need to leave me alone. Leave me alone for a while until I'm past that point.
What is it like when he has the anger in public?
So when he was younger, it was more, I would say, I don't want to use the word embarrassing, but people don't understand. And especially the older generation. I've had people come up to us and tell him, lean in his face with the finger and say, you're not getting any presents for Christmas this year, young man. And it's probably the worst thing you could do to an autistic person who is, getting ready to escalate.
What was that?
That was at Kohl's a long time ago. We were with one of your therapists too, and he was he was dysregulated because of the energy in the store, and it was around Christmas time. But now it's very scary because he is over 16.
How old are you, Robbie?
18.
What is it like to be 18 years old?
It's good, but I can vote now. I can blow models. Awesome.
What was the second thing that you said? You said you can vote, then you said one other thing.
Play lottos. The lottery.
You win any money?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you're 18 years old now.
Yes.
Is being an adult what you thought it would be?
No.
How is it different?
Because I don't know. It's I'm afraid people. I can get arrested now. I don't like being arrested.
Now he's 18, so he's a legal adult. And if someone perceives him as either being harassing, because when he escalates, he does curse quite a bit. And with that, sometimes he can go towards threats types of things. So now there's a chance that he could be arrested for even just yelling something out, and it scares us to death. It really scares us.
What message would you want relayed to any type of law enforcement that may see one of his anger outbursts?
Really, all law enforcement should be highly trained in developmental disabilities, especially autism, and recognize the signs, the flapping, the lack of eye contact, which you picked up on before, the ability not to be able to respond quickly and not have a valid, lengthy response. Like you see Robbie, when he's off camera, he's talking to you like crazy. You ask him a question when he's on camera and you're getting the one-word answers. When they're put on the spot, it could look totally different, and to them, it could look like they're being defiant.
Tell me about some other characters that you relate to.
Popeye,
Why do you relate to Popeye?
because he emotional sometimes too.
Any other characters?
Godzilla, King Kong.
It's really hard because I know he is truly such a sweet and kind and genuine person, and he has the biggest heart, truly the biggest heart, and just his setbacks sometimes hide that, and it makes it really difficult because that is not who he truly is. His autism does not define him, and sometimes that's all you get to see of him, which is really difficult in those explosive moments for people who, that's all they get to see. They don't get to see that good, warm buddy that we all know and are used to.
Even sometimes in certain family aspects, we're not included because of his ability to have outbursts and ruin a situation. We take it upon ourselves usually to not go to family events because of that, especially like weddings or things that would be a huge impact on the memory, the happy memory that could go bad if Robbie has an escalation at it.
What is the best way for somebody to be inclusive of your son, knowing that sometimes he has anger outbursts?
So, typically what we do is prep them first. We don't have any friends really because it's just too stressful. This is our safe zone, being in the house. So having people here can trigger him. And then it's embarrassing for adults, like for my friends. I do have one or two close friends that come over and they don't even bat an eye at when he's starting to escalate, but they also know to stay out of his way. So I would just say that, it's worth the try because he is a genuinely great person. It's an asset to get to know him. But if you do see that he's starting to get upset, then, just not calmly just walk away. Calmly we're always around Robbie. He's never by himself. So we would be there to kind of intervene anyway at that point. But it's worth the asset of getting to know him. And if he's actually enjoying himself, he's not going to escalate at that moment.
Do you worry about Robbie?
Oh yeah, I do. I worry about his future and now, and I just want him to live the best, most opportunistic life he can.
What do you hope people understand if they ever see Robbie have an explosive anger?
That he's different, and he's just like you, but he's different just like everybody else. He's unique, and you would never understand unless you were him. I could never understand, so that's something I try to remind myself. Even as one of his closest people in his life, even I can never fully grasp it. So there's, no judgment in that.
Even when you're feeling angry, do you still love your family?
Yes.
What is it like to be angry but love the people around you?
I don't know.
If you could record a message for Robbie that he could replay whenever he feels anxious or angry, what would you say?
I would say, buddy, you know how much we love you. And as Grammy would say, my famous words, this too shall pass. And just try to use your coping skills. We're here for you. We have our hugs. It doesn't have to go to the full explosion if you can try to contain it now and use a coping skill. But we love you very much no matter what. That's always been our coin phrase. No matter what. is the very important words. We love you no matter what.
Robbie, one of his good qualities is that he sees the good in everybody. He can be very positive when he wants to be. He's a big empath, and he loves love. He loves helping people. That's one thing we have in common. Big empath. So I see that in him, and I like that.
That's amazing, Robbie.
Yes.
Robbie, what is it like to have so many family members who love you?
It's really heartfelt and genuine.
It's heartfelt and genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie should be a reminder to never judge a book by its cover. Always be kind, always assume good intent in others, always try and just find something to live for the next, few months, next day. Robbie is a great reminder of that.